It seems like so many lessons that really matter in life are kind of ironic, surprising, counterintuitive lessons. And because they don't follow a kind of obvious path, sometimes you have to kind of get them coming back over and over and over again to really allow it to sink in. And for me, one of those lessons is that um, you have to be willing to lose something in order to gain that thing. That's something my brother said to me once, and it really stayed with me. And it came back to me again yesterday when I was watching this wonderful Fast Company interview with Anthony Bourdain during the last year of his life. He was saying that a lot of the people that he worked with in television were afraid of doing something or saying something that would jeopardize their position and endanger their ability to work in television anymore. So they were in this place they wanted to be in, but always afraid of losing it. And he said, I don't have that fear. He said, I'm willing to go back to the restaurant and work as a cook in the kitchen if I need to. I know I can do that. He said, I know I can make an omelet and, do what I need to do. And it really stuck with me when I heard him say that. And it kind of let me look at what I was doing in a slightly different way also. There's a way that being afraid to lose something, that kind of gritting, grabby, grasping feeling, which I'm very familiar with, it interestingly leads to a kind of frozen place. And I think when I was listening to Anthony Bourdain, I started to connect the dots anew. This is something I think about a lot. I think about the inner workings of decision making a lot. I'm very, very interested in habit, behavior, and how that interacts with self-concept and also actions and exercises. And when I heard him say, oh yeah, I'm willing to go back to the kitchen, I thought, okay, where does that metaphor work in my life, especially around what I'm thinking about, writing about, and exploring with money? Interestingly, there are times where you'll get to a certain plateau, and now it's time to go to another level. And what are the things that are holding you back from being willing to step up into that new level? What are the things that make you feel kind of frozen, afraid? There is that experience of gripping and tightening and constricting, and having that result in a kind of inability to be creative, to take risks, or even be willing to think about a good outcome. Another resource I'll share, I'm still listening to it, Brene Brown's podcast. I was listening to the episode with Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Bruce Perry, and because I speak about curiosity so often, this comment that Dr. Perry made really caught my attention. He said that in order to even have the privilege of being curious, you have to feel a basic sense of safety, because otherwise the curiosity represents threat. And I just thought that was really profound. So all of this is just making me think about my basic face balance practice, which is like my go-to practice. I write about it in Trust Yourself with Money. I talk about it all day long. It requires pretending that I'm starting from nothing again, but doing that while I still have something. If I'm willing to go back to zero, there's some freedom in that. And how beautiful is it to go back to zero when zero is not really zero, you know? It's just a great place from which to navigate. And so if you're in a position right now where you're trying to figure out what to do next, think about keeping a base balance. I have another video about it. You can read about it in my book. You can listen to me talk about it in my audiobook. But think about keeping a base balance and let the base balance exercise allow you to blossom and bloom and unfold in unexpected ways.